What's going on, people? Level Up Media. So in this episode of Unsung Artists, I'll be speaking about one of my favorite female vocalists by the name of Tamia. Tamia is a Canadian singer whose professional career spanned from the mid-90s up until the present, her recent album being released in 2018. I think most people should know about Tamia. It is possible, however, not to, because she's not exactly one of the most prominent faces on the R&B scene. Tamia started singing at her local church from around the age of 6 and participated in talent shows and musical productions. She released her first notable single in 1995 entitled You Put a Move on My Heart, and 3 years later in 1998 she released her debut album entitled Tamia. Tamia has released 7 studio albums to date and in addition has done several iconic features with artists like Brandy, Eric Benet and Fabulous. So this girl Tamia put in the work. Remember, albums are normally 12 tracks at least. Sometimes albums have 13, 14 or even 15 tracks. So she's definitely not a lazy artist. So recording 7 albums is really impressive, not to mention a career spanning over 3 decades. In addition, she's taken up several acting roles in movies. So shout out to Tamia for her work ethic. She has definitely been out here and definitely more than just a pretty face for real. Some artists are talented but lazy, but Tamia is not one of them. Now, I have not listened to all of Tamia's discography, but I have listened to a few of her albums, and some of my favorite tracks from Tamia are Still, Smile, Poetry, obviously the one that she's widely known for, Into You, the original mix, and the remix featuring Fabulous, Close to You featuring Gerald Levert, and the iconic track entitled Missing You with Brandy, Gladys Knight, and Shaka Khan, which was the soundtrack for the movie Set It Off. I mean, that artist link up was legendary. I mean, you know you have to be something special if you're singing beside Gladys Knight and Shaka Khan. And don't forget the track entitled Spend My Life With You featuring Eric Benet. You know that one was a certified slow jam Hall of Famer. And that's just to mention a few. Now listen, if you're thinking that Tamia is just some any old singer from around the way just because she wasn't really prominent, then you're mistaken. She is an amazing artist, trust me. Tamia has a vocal range of over 2 octaves, which is not the widest vocal range. However, her vocal delivery is soulful, melodious, and emotive, and her runs and riffs are effortless and moving. She sings in predominantly mezzo-soprano tone, which is the lower soprano tone, and has impressive vocal agility. Like I said, I really like Tamia. I like her style, her voice, her vibe, and her aura. She is definitely one of my favorite female artists. So shout out to Tamia for her work ethic, her voice, her vibe, her creativity, and her artistry. She's definitely an unsung artist, but nevertheless, truly one of the most special talents to ever grace the music scene. So that's all from me, guys. Until the next time, I'll see you on the other side. Peace.